Okay, I'm back. So, those of you that are here for the fluff portion, we were talking about starters. So things that you could use for a starter for a meal. And this is one that I really, really like. And we've been eating a lot of soup at work lately. So the last few weeks at work, we've been eating different kinds of soup. And that is one thing that I can let, I have one, I don't have to be careful because sometimes they watch these. I have two people at work who love me through food. And sometimes it's a problem because they don't always make things that are point friendly. So we've been trying to have soup one day a week at work so that they can love me through food. You know, they can love me through food and not blow me up, especially after the holidays. And I'll be honest, I like soup. I'm not gonna pretend like I wanna eat it every single day, but I like soup. So I have a soup starter that I created. I don't know what Cheryl's recipe was. I'm hoping y'all are gonna tell me in just a few minutes, but oh, hold on. I forgot to tell you your homework. So Casey, you're gonna have to go back and chop this in on the end of something or chop it out of the fluff portion, but your homework for this week was to pick one thing off of the 0 points food list that you've never had before. So I want you to pick one thing off of the 0 points list that you've never had before. I want you to post it. Tell us that you ate it. So try it. You can fix it however you want to. Don't know what it is. Don't know if it needs to be prepared or fixed or whatever. But I want you to try it, post it, and post what you thought about it. Yeah, but you got to tag me. And hello, Susan. So that was your homework. So sorry I forgot to tell you all your homework. And I'll post it at the end of this too. The homework is pick one thing off the 200 list that you've never had. Try it somehow, however you're going to try it, and then post it, tag me, and let us know what you thought about it. Because, y'all are going to tell us things that we've never had too. I don't think there's any of us, maybe one. I don't think there's more than a handful of us that have had every single item on the 200 list. So, okay, back to this. We were talking about, I know, and Cheryl says tofu, but she won't eat it. You're just gonna have to eat my tofu, Cheryl. But so we were talking about soup. So this is a 0 point soup, kind of a base. So it's kind of, you can use it as a base for soup. So you can use it, and hello to you, Lisa, you can use it for, a lot of different things. So what it has in it, and I will try to talk slowly because, again, WordPress is not working great right now, or it is working fine, but it won't let me put my recipe thing in there. But I used a big bag of picked sweet mixed vegetables, frozen vegetables. You don't have to get that brand. It can be whatever you want. But I started with a big bag of mixed frozen vegetables, no potatoes in it, because this is going to be a 0 point base. So it was a big bag of frozen vegetables, 2 cans of tomato sauce. 2 cans of tomato sauce, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, but we're going to spread it out over so many servings that the olive oil is not going to have any points by the time we get done breaking it apart. I use Bragg liquid aminos, and let me show you what those are. Hold on just a second. You do not have to use these. You absolutely do not have to use these, but this is another thing that my mother introduced me to. And yes, I know it's backwards, but this is another thing that my mother introduced me to, during her vegan journey that I fell in love with, and it is, it's kind of like soy sauce, but it is so much better for you. So I use 1/4 cup of that, about 6 cups of water, depending on how thin you want the soup to be and how much you want to spread this out. And then about 3 cups of chopped cabbage, a tablespoon of minced garlic, and you can use more if you like more. And then about 4 cups of low sodium vegetable broth. So it doesn't have to be low sodium, but I use low sodium vegetable broth just, again, because of parental health issues. But as soon as I can, I will try to get Casey to put the and yes, Melissa, you can use it in any recipe for soy sauce. Yeah, I don't even know when the last time was I bought soy sauce, probably 8 years ago, because we just use that. And a little bit goes a long way. But yeah, so we made this base with this, and I will try to get Casey to slow down long enough tomorrow to actually list the ingredients at the bottom, just in case I can't get the WordPress thing figured out this week, but because we're like 4 or 5 chats behind on posting that. But anyway, so it makes this base. So the base itself is 0 smart points, and it is quite tasty as just a base. So what I've done is I've made 4 different versions of this, either for work this week or for eating at night, because John is headed out of town. Gosh. What's it called again? Loretta, are you talking about this? Are you talking about this? It's Bragg liquid aminos, if that's what you're talking about. So and so this is what this is what I did with it. Okay, this is just the starter. So yeah, and Loretta, it's Bragg liquid aminos, BRAGG. This is the starter. So again, the starter has tomato sauce, it's got cabbage, it's got a bunch of different kinds of vegetables in it, the Bragg liquid aminos, a teeny tiny bit of the olive oil, because remember I spread it out over, I think I spread it out over 16, it was like 16 or 18 cups. This has 2 cups in this size container. This one only has the starter in it. So this one I will probably eat with either a grilled cheese sandwich or with like a peanut butter and jelly or something, because I'll get to indulge myself with a grilled cheese or a peanut butter and jelly, because I'm pairing it with a 0 smart point soup. So how smart is that? And who are you growling at? Okay, Dusty's growling at somebody that's not there. But anyway, so I have no idea who. But anyway, so a 0 smart point soup, and then pair it with something that has some smart points, like, or a baked potato would be good. And I actually bought potatoes today, so that might be a good option. So that's one option, and Dusty's really pretty sure that he's gonna get that, but he's not. Okay, and this has, so just to also point out, the starter has no meat in it. So this would be vegetarian and vegan. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm running down the ingredients in my head. This would be vegetarian and vegan. So that would be a great vegetarian or vegan option. And it is semi-lower, sodium for those who are concerned. The liquid aminos do have some sodium in them. For a half of a teaspoon, it is, let me find it, 160 milligrams of sodium. So just wanted to point that out in case anybody has to be really, really, careful with the sodium. Then the second one that I did is this one's like a BLT. So this one is like a BLT soup. And so it's just 2 cups of the starter again. And then it has 2 pieces of my air fryer bacon that I make. It has 2 pieces of that. I cook it really crisp. 2 pieces of that crumbled up in there. And the kind of bacon that I use, that's 2 smart points. And then it has an 1/8 of a cup of Trader Joe's light shredded mozzarella cheese, and that's 1 smart point. So that's 2 plus 1 is 3, plus the 0 point soup. And then I used, on the bacon, I used some of the Dax Red Mountain Rub, because it's really good on the bacon. And so it's like a BLT, except the L is cabbage instead of lettuce, but it has bacon, and it has cabbage lettuce in it, and it has tomato because it's got the tomato sauce, and it has a little bit of cheese in it. And so that just makes for a fun one. So that would be 3 points. That would be 3 smart points, for 2 cups of that, for that size container of that. And the next one, this one is like a ham and bean soup. So I don't know how many of you all eat ham and bean soup. That's semi-popular around here, I think. But this one again is approximately 2 cups of the starter. And then I added, I got some Canadian bacon and chopped it up. And for those of you that are here with us from Canada, I'm still super disappointed that y'all did not invent that. It still just hurts my heart. But anyway, I guess I'll get over it. But it has some chopped up, it has 1 point worth of Canadian bacon chopped, if you can see that. It has 1 point worth of Canadian bacon chopped up in there. And then I added navy beans. So the Canadian bacon is 1 point. The navy beans are 0 points, 0 points. So this is 1 point worth of soup. It's 1 point. So if you had more than 1 point to spend, you could put some more Canadian bacon in there, not made in Canada, or you could put some of the bacon. If If you had the bacon, you could crumble it up and put in there. Or again, you could have a grilled cheese, or you could have a peanut butter and jelly, or a peanut butter sandwich with it. But you could have something else with it. Or if you were going, you know, like if you were going to go out, you know, that night, how yummy would this soup be with that? And I use the Dax Everything But the Bagel. It's everything but the seasoning. The Trader Joe's Everything But the Bagel is good with it too. But and okay, Loretta wants to know, even though beans are 0 points, do you go by the serving size? Yes. So if when I eat beans, even if I end up eating a lot of beans, I still do like a serving at a time. And this is one serving of beans. So I wouldn't go crazy, because you're gonna have a different problem if you go crazy on that. Yeah. But the Dax Everything But the is good on that one. And again, that is a 1 point. The way I've made it right here, that is a 1 point soup. Okay. And JJ wants to know why the liquid aminos are good for you. Because Nana said so. So if Nana said that it's, you know, if it's good for you, then it is good for you. So, okay, and here's the last one. And somehow, even though I babbled through the whole first of that, we're going to be able to go back through these and talk about the ingredients and still end on time. So yeah, JJ, anything Nana said is good for you is good for you. So since we have plenty of time, I will digress. I'll like sidetrack a little bit. And yes, Nana says, and it's funny because yesterday she's feeling a lot better. She's never going to be completely well, but she's feeling a lot better. And yesterday I was, I don't know, doing something, you know, whatever for her there at the nursing home. And she said, I can do that. Oh, I was trying to hand her Dr. Pepper. And she said, I can get it. And I said, well, no, I'm going to get it for you. And she goes, I do this every day without you. And I said, well, I don't know how. And I said, well, today you're going to have to do it with me. But it is so Bragg liquid aminos, and they also make the nutritional yeast that I eat. It's an all-purpose seasoning from soy protein. So if you're sensitive or allergic to soy, please do not try this. It's a natural soy sauce alternative. It is gluten-free and it contains no preservatives. And it says, let's see, Bragg liquid aminos, a gourmet alternative to tamari and soy sauce. No preservatives, no alcohol, not fermented, gluten-free, contains 16 amino acids. So it has all of this in here. It has alanine, I'm not gonna say these right, arginine, aspartic acid, gluten, you know, whatever. 16, I'm not going to say them all. 16 essential and non-essential amino acids in naturally occurring amounts, blah, 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 blah. Sorry. So it's good for you. It has amino acids. You need them. And no, you don't keep it in the fridge. You don't keep that in the fridge. Okay. So the last soup that I made with the starter is, it's basically an unstuffed cabbage soup. So let me go back here really quickly and tell you the starter. The starter is vegetarian and vegan. There's no meat in this and it's 0 points. The next one was, and hey, Orlando Debbie, the next one was the BLT, and that one was 3 smart points. It does have meat in it and it does have cheese in it. The next one was the Canadian bacon, not made by Canadians, the not Canadian bacon, and navy beans. And this one is 1 smart point, but it does have meat in it. This one looks like it has meat in it for my vegetarian and vegan friends, but it does not. This one has rice. It has a half a cup of rice, which is, it's about a half a cup of rice. It was a fourth of one of the VT things, which is right here. It's a fourth of one of these. Hello, Samantha. It's a fourth of one of these, and that's 2 smart points. And then it has a half of a cup of Beyond Beef crumbles. So it has the rice and the Beyond Beef in there with the starter soup. So it is still vegetarian, it's still vegan, but it is, let's see, 2 and 2, it's 4 smart points. So it's 4 smart points for this, but it is still vegetarian and vegan, and it is delicious. So if you like unstuffed cabbage soup, but you need a lighter, you know, a lower point, like the one that one of the ladies at work makes for us, is the one she makes is 6 smart points for 2 cups. This one is 4, and it's vegetarian and it's vegan. So we are like 5 minutes ahead, which is awesome. So really quickly, again, oh, and this one for the one that is like the one that's like an unstuffed cabbage soup, I used Dax Italian, the Italian Blast seasoning on that, because it just, you're supposed to put a bay leaf in the unstuffed cabbage soup, and the Italian Blast just gives it, you know, a little bit something extra. But real quickly, let me go over what the base is, you know, and you can make the base whatever, you know, whatever you want. But I make a giant pot, if y'all can see it. Where is it? Right here. So that was like 3/4 of the way full. And again, the base had, I used a big bag of frozen mixed vegetables, and it was like 6 cups of frozen mixed vegetables, 2 cans of tomato sauce, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1/4 of a cup of Bragg liquid aminos, about 6 cups of water depending on how thin you want it to be, about approximately 3 cups of chopped cabbage, so go ahead and chop it up however fine or thick. Sometimes I make it thicker than that. And a tablespoon of minced garlic, or if you like doing fresh garlic, you can, the fresh garlic, ooh, so good, so good. I just don't have the luxury of that kind of time. And approximately 4 cups of vegetable broth. So the vegetable broth was the key to making this okay for yeah, Loretta, I'm sorry. So JJ wants to know what size the cans are. They're already gone because John was on top of the recycling today, so I'll have to get that size for you. And Loretta wants to know if I'm going to post it. Loretta, I am going to post it, but I've got to figure out what WordPress did when they did their update. I've got to figure out what they did with my recipe builder. So, because the recipe builder is just gone. But anyway, so that is the recipe builder on WordPress is gone. So for the www.ifyouhaveanegg.com, right now I can't post a recipe. So it updated it. I can't figure out how to make it and update it. So maybe Casey can figure that out tomorrow. But this is the base, and here it is in a clear bowl so that you can see it. So that is the 0 point base. That is what I just read off. So 0 point base, yummy, yummy. Eat with a grilled cheese or, you know, some other kind of sandwich. This one is the BLT. So it has, oh, no, I'm sorry. This one is the, I'll have to mark these. This one is the bean and bacon. So it's the Canadian bacon and navy beans. 1 smart point. This one is the BLT. That is 3 smart points, and I wish I could get some bacon in that shot, but I don't see any. But yeah, that one's 3 smart points, the way I made it. And then we have the unstuffed cabbage soup one, and that one's about 4 smart points. So vegetarian and vegan. How much water is 6 cups? Are you asking me how much water is 6 cups, or are you asking me if it's 6 cups of water? Because that was, and I'm sorry, that's Trish that's asking that. So it was approximately 6 cups of water. And yeah, Melissa, you could add rotisserie white meat chicken to any of this. You could add, I mean, really, you could do anything with this. You could add, because the base is not really flavored. I mean, it has that little bit of garlic in it, but because the base is not really flavored, you could add taco meat. You could add taco meat and taco seasoning. You could add chicken meat and enchilada seasoning would be really good. I know I'm getting on this whole Mexican thing now, but there's so many options. I mean, you could, oh, Trish, it was 6 cups. So it was 6 cups of water, depending on how thin you wanted it to be. So I made the base, I made the base pretty thin because I was going to be adding, you know, so many other things to it. But yeah, I mean, you could add anything to it and make it a, you know, make it into your own creation. But it is 8:59. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up so that I can go ahead and fix John's, or reheat John's, bulk it up from the classroom portion. So if you are only watching, Casey's going to start splitting these up so that we'll have one video and she did that last week too, but so she'll have one video that has the classroom and the fluff portion, and then another video that just has the fluff portion, because I have a feeling it's the people that just wanted the fluff portion that are the complainers and whiners, and you know how much of a people pleaser I am. But anyway, so this was from the beginning. This was just the hashtag bulk it up. So it was a healthy choice fettuccine Alfredo with some salmon and some peas. Yeah, to bulk it up, to hashtag bulk it up. So I'm gonna go figure out which of this I am eating. And Dusty, is right here at my feet. So he must think he's getting part of this. Come here, buddy. Come say goodnight. Oh. Yeah, and that workout that Casey and I did, yeah, I'm feeling it in my legs tonight. Feeling it in my legs and my arms. But anyway, everybody have a great week. And if you're new to us, this is Dusty. So he's the only child that I didn't mention at the beginning of the chat. But welcome to all the new people. And don't forget, you all did an awesome job on your homework last week. This week, your homework is to find one thing on the 200 smart points list, the 200 zero points list, and make it and eat it somehow and let us know what you thought. So good night, everybody. Y'all have a great week. I want to know what you made with your soup too. So good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Good night. Say good night, Dusty.